The Walking Dead is a super popular show that's all about surviving in a world overrun by zombies or walkers. The characters face constant threats like finding food, water, shelter, and staying safe from both the walkers and the other people. And while the show makes a lot of what they're doing look cool, some of the things they do wouldn't work in real life. So, we're going to break down some of the survival skills they use in the show, explain why some won't work, and share what you should actually do instead. In The Walking Dead, of course, the characters try to stay as quiet as possible. They use weapons like crossbows and knives to avoid making noise, and they only use guns if they absolutely have to, or if you're Rick, so they don't draw the walker's attention to them. So, would this work in real life? Well, yeah. In a real life survival situation, staying quiet is actually a smart move. Noise can attract all kinds of unwanted attention, not just from zombies, but from dangerous people or animals too. Keeping silent gives you the upper hand. And using quiet weapons like bows, crossbows, or even slingshots is a great idea. Knives and other close range weapons are also good for quiet takedowns. If you need to stay hidden, avoid loud actions like breaking branches or slamming doors. In the show, the characters often set up like fences and barricades around their camps to keep walkers out. They use wood, metal, or whatever they can find to create barriers, or they stay in a prison. So would this work in real life? Kinda, but it isn't as easy as it looks. If you think about it, those walkers are constantly pushing on those fences, and eventually they're going to break through. Even in real life, wood can rot, metal can weaken over time, so those barricades would need a lot of upkeep. Fences are useful, but they're not going to last forever on their own. Instead of relying on them 100%, try using natural barriers like thorn bushes or river if you have it, which are harder to get through. And always make sure you have an escape plan in case your fence fails. In the show, the characters often magically find food in abandoned grocery stores or homes, like canned goods and snacks, even years after this apocalypse started. Would this work in real life? No, and it's actually one of the larger mistakes that happens in the show. In real life, food would run out pretty darn quickly, and most stores would be looted within weeks. And even if you did find food, it would be expired or spoiled after this long a time. Instead of hoping to magically find food, you need to focus on sustainable sources like hunting, fishing, and growing your own food. Learn how to forage for wild plants and trap small animals. Stock up on seeds and learn how to preserve food through drying or canning. And the characters in the show often drink from natural water sources like lakes, rivers, or ponds. Sometimes they boil the water, but most of the time they don't. Would this work in real life? Well, you already know the answer. Drinking untreated water from a river or lake could make you very sick. Even if the water looks clean, it could have bacteria or chemicals that cause serious illness, and getting sick in a survival situation would not be good. Always purify your water. As you know, boiling is the easiest way to make it clean, but you can also use water filters or purification tablets. In the show, the characters always seem to have everything they need in their little itty bitty backpacks: food, weapons, supplies, and they're never shown like it's hard for them to carry those backpacks. Obviously, in real life, this is completely unrealistic. Carrying that much weight will slow you down, it'll make you tired, and could even cause injuries. The more you carry, the more food and water you'll need to keep going. Pack as light as you can, and you only bring the essentials. Focus on items that are lightweight and have multiple uses, like a knife, fire starters, small water filter, and a first aid kit. And also, you need to learn to use what you find in your environment instead of trying to carry everything with you. Keep your pack light so you can move quickly if you need to. The characters on the show use knives, crossbows, and Michonne even uses a sword or a katana to take down walkers. They fight a lot of walkers at once, often up close. Would this work in real life? It's not as easy as they make it look. Fighting multiple threats with knives or swords in close combat would be extremely risky. In the situations that they get into, it is super easy to get injured, and without proper medical care, even a small wound could be deadly. Plus, fighting like this would wear you out really fast. It's better whenever possible to keep your distance from any danger. Use distance type weapons like slingshots or bows, or set up traps to deal with threats. And while The Walking Dead does show some smart survival strategies, it also makes a lot of things look easier than they would be in real life. Surviving in a world like that would take a lot more work and a lot more planning. But knowing what works and what doesn't, you can be better prepared for an emergency situation, whether it's the zombie apocalypse or something else entirely.